Well, happy Sunday, everyone. We are so glad that you popped in today to check our message. I'm Tunap, and this.
Is Dr. Michael Gross. How are you, everybody? Thank you for joining us. I want you to know, everyone, that this has brought a special presentations, and our advertisers are Healing the Holes in Your Soul by T.U. Knapp, a wonderful book of inspiration,
and
a wonderful book to help raise your vibrations and find freedom, and
and the spiritual primer by none other than the phenomenal Dr. Michael Gross.
thank you.
He's life changing. Trust me, he has helped and healed so many people. But we'll get to that in a minute. Right?
Right.
Right. Okay, we'll put the books down. What we want to do is come to you today. Michael has a very special message for you today. It's called Mirrors in Your Life. Sounds very reflective, don't you think?
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, before we get going, we want to thank you very much for joining us tonight because Sunday is, family day a lot of times. And so that's why we're doing this at 7 o'clock at night so that dinner is over and perhaps you have a little bit more time to kick back and get ready for your Monday. So on that note, we'll go right to it so we can get you guys moving along on your Sunday night. So thank you so much for joining us. Contact information that we share at the end will be also in the chat. Okay. So are you ready for me to introduce you?
Absolutely.
I know this guy, but maybe you don't. So this is a beautiful part. This is the only thing we script. And it's because I want to make sure that I cover all of the things that Michael does. So Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he has been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the True Source, I've lost my page. It's worn out. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. In concert with God, the True Source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. I always end up doing something, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going. In concert with God, the True Source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing the work he does all comes from God, the True Source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and he has just launched his nonprofit. And I'm going to let you introduce
the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. Really excited about it. And you've probably heard me mention this before, but for the new people that are joining us, Spirit told me to form a nonprofit, 501c3, which I've done. Didn't know what I was going to use it for. I met T.U., and T.U. has written a beautiful book called Healing the Holes in Your Soul, and it talks all about abuse. And I've decided that it's going to be 12 arms within the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. The first arm is going to be dealing with abused women, children, and men. And the director of this program is none other than T.U. Knapp, because she lived it, she experienced it, she healed from it, and she moved forward. So thank you for being on the board and also director of it.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to help other people also find hope and a beautifully abundant future. It's there for all of us. We just have to get over all the issues and the fears and start moving forward. And Michael is the most amazing man that can help us. He's helped me, and if he can help me, he can help you too. So on that note, I'm going to put a little on my mouth, and I'm going to let Michael talk about mirrors in your life.
Well, thank you. I thought this would be an interesting subject to speak about this evening. And it's something important for us to look at. The reason I say it's important to look at is sometimes we run into people, figuratively speaking, you don't want to hit them, but we run into people, and as we walk into a room or whatever, and then somebody may come up to you and say something, and it's something that you listen to, and if it pushes your button, it means you have an issue with it. It's something unresolved. Of course, I've talked about a fight or flight or frozen syndrome. And most of the time, when we deal with issues within us, things left unresolved, we will kind of lie to ourselves, chide ourselves, oh, it doesn't bother me. And then when you meet a person and either you observe their behavior, which pushes your button, you say, oh, that's me. Or perhaps when they're in there pushing your button, you have to take a look at one thing, and that is don't fault them. This is the true source saying, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. This is an unresolved issue. Therefore, look at them as teachers in your life, teaching you to look deep within you. They may have a similar problem or not, but in pushing your button, you have the opportunity to take a look and see how it is affecting you. And so silently give thanks for that person and being in your life who is there to bring forth some resolved issue. But I want to explain the severity of it. All of us have come into this planet, into this incarnation, for self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. It takes on different categories and pictures. Perhaps it's multiple marriages. Perhaps it was a very horrendous childhood where you're bullied, or even now. Perhaps you were physically, mentally, or spiritually abused. Perhaps there was a lot of judgmentalness. Perhaps you have lost yourself in your direction of life. Whatever it is, it's a mirror for you to look at yourself and say, why is the situation in my life? Why is it being brought up at this time? And why do I have to deal with it? So let's take a look at why is it being brought up in my life at this time. It's because there are certain doors that you are unaware of that will allow you to heal and release that block in your life more easily. Not that it can't be done at any given time, any given second. However, most people will put off things over and over and over again till they birth out of the body. Congratulations, you avoided it. I'm happy for you. Except this is kind of what happens. So you're ready to incarnate. You go, oh, I haven't dealt with this karma. I avoided it. Maybe for 1 or 2 lifetimes or more. It's like, well, I'm going to make it so tough I finally get it right. It's kind of tough until you finally heal it and release it. Then it goes from rocky mountains and deep valleys and thunderstorms into a calm breeze in the meadows, smelling the wildflowers and feeling the joy and happiness of the warm wind caressing your body in a very gentle way. So it's up to you. It has always been up to you. You chose this life. So here's a door, an opportunity for you to heal and release more quickly. And that's really important. And that's why we have these mirrors in our lives. And if we look at these mirrors, one, we have to take responsibility. What does that mean? For some reason. I don't know what it is, what happened in a past life. It's unimportant. What it is now in my life and I have to deal with it. Now, let's say it's unimportant because of past life, but I meet people, well, I want to know that I did this, blah, blah, supposing you're a pirate and you stole all these gold and silver sovereigns and all this stuff. So in this lifetime, people are stealing money from you or they're cheating you financially or whatever. What difference does it make that you were a pirate? It doesn't make any difference. What makes a difference is if you're to be cheated or money stolen from you or something that's going wrong, that's depriving you from finances, something you did in a past life. All right. We're now given the opportunity in this lifetime to change. How would you do that, Michael? Well, let's talk a little bit more. First, you take responsibility that I chose to learn it this way. Remember, there are no victims. It's easy to say you're a victim. It's an excuse. So you know what? Excuses are fine, but it resolves no issues. Still leaves them hanging right up here in front of your face and saying, you ready yet? You ready yet? You ready yet? So you acknowledge this must have been from a past life. Step number 2. Now you acknowledge that. You understand that something similar, not identical, must have occurred in a past life. Okay, so now you have to take ownership of it. Too many people go, yeah, well, I did this and I did this, nothing happened. Yeah, that's right. How much energy did you put into it? How much feeling and emotion did you put into it? Nothing. You just said, oh, it's over with. You know why? Because you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to feel the pain, the insecurities. That is something that you need to understand. So when you realize it was a past life and people stole from you, and now your people are cheating you or stealing money from you, you declare one, must have been a past life. Number two, you feel the pain of it, the pain of being cheated or stolen, not the anger, the pain, the emotion. And then after you feel that, you say, I understand it. And you ask for forgiveness to move forward. Not idle little words, blah, 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 and that's it. You have to feel it, experience it, because you already have. And then realize what it feels like and acknowledge that's what it must have felt like the other person. So you ask for forgiveness and you ask for healing. Now the last part, declare what you've learned from it. That it may have been wrong or hurtful or something. You'll know the right words. Too many people, which exact words did I say? Doesn't make a difference when it comes from the heart. That's all that's important. And once you do that, it's over. Then it no longer will occur anymore. Now you have the other choice. You can run and run and run, but you'll never outrun it. Because whether you do it in this lifetime or another lifetime, it's going to reoccur, 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 reoccur till you finally release it. And that's so important. So many things are going on in life simultaneously. So many karmic lessons. Remember, karma is nothing but an experience. Think about it. It's nothing but an experience. You want to make a big deal out of it? Go ahead. You want to ignore it? Go ahead. Free will, free choice. But we must take responsibility. The other thing we need to do is, when this is occurring, not only do we take responsibility, we don't act like the victim. There are no victims. We allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. But even that is an experience. Take ownership of what's going on. Take ownership of what you see that you're running from. Take ownership of being in denial of life. Take ownership in the fight or flight or frozen. And stop looking for excuses. Just own up to it. That's all you need to do. Isn't that simple? But it's like in my day when I was growing up and I screwed up. I'm going to wait till your father gets home. Oh my God. I lived in fear for hours until he got home.
That.
You just wanted to get it over with. You heard it?
Yeah, I heard it too. And then when you hear Dad's truck coming down the driveway, you're like, uh-oh. You know, then it's the freeze fear. What is it? Fear, fight, freeze, or
fight or fight or freeze. Yeah.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I know you said don't take on the role as a victim, but why is it that so many people point fingers and will blame someone else for something that they actually did?
Because they don't want to face the truth of the music. You know, facing the music, that old expression, they don't want to take responsibility for their life. Rather blame everybody else as an excuse. Instead, you say, yeah, I screwed up. I did wrong.
But doesn't that add more karma on top of them if they're not
If they
taking
don't-
accountability for it?
It can, depends upon how much they're doing or what they're accusing somebody else of doing when they really are responsible for it. You know, like, let's say candy bars were missing. Well, Johnny took it and you lied. And he threatened me or make up some lie. You add more karma to it. However, if you turn around and say, no, Johnny didn't steal the candy bars, I took them. and whatever punishment I need to have, I'm open to. And then you get punished, and then it's over and done with. But
Okay.
more importantly, now you have integrity. You own up to everything. You know, in my path, there were things that the true source held my feet to the fire. And I would tell you, it was very uncomfortable. I was perspiring. I was shaking. My heart was pounding. My breathing was shallow. I was getting angrier, getting red in the face, blood pressure way up. I fought it and fought it and fought it. I don't know, a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know. And finally I said, I can't do this anymore. And then I released it. And then the healing took place by taking responsibility.
So I have another question.
Sure.
Okay. So as a kid, I'm the middle sister. Okay. There were three girls. And when one of them would do something wrong and they would blame me and I would defend myself, but I was still the one getting punished because they believed someone else and not me speaking the truth. How does that go with karma? I mean, I'm the one that got grounded, or I'm the one that got, whatever punishment I got. And they're the ones who got away with it.
Maybe you were a snitch in a past life. I know it's impossible to believe, but it could have been you were a snitch in a past life. Or you made up stories.
That could have, well, you never know what happened in a past life, right?
Right. Well, whatever it is,
Wow.
once you develop integrity and if you take responsibility, then people will believe you more. But I've seen circumstances where people were getting divorced. And one party, the other party, accused them of something or molestation of the children. Didn't make a difference was a male or female. You knew darn well it wasn't true. But they did it to get even. Whoa, think of the karma of that person that said the lie. Incredible. And how you ruin somebody's life. All the things that are going on in our lives is for a reason. And, when I talk about in my book, as I said, sometimes I am the teacher and you are the student. And sometimes you're the teacher and I am the student. That applies to every one of us listening to this podcast. Sometimes you're the teacher, sometimes you're the student. But we must always be open to learning and moving forward. And critical thinking is so important. To really think things out. And do you react or you do act? And it's really a very important case by case. And there was an incident come up that somebody accused me of something that I had posted. It's obviously they didn't read it through. And I had 4-letter words. And I said to the true source, how do I answer this? My button's pushed. I could attack. Or what I call react or act. So I listened, I act, I told them exactly what I felt, exactly how they misread the post. But I said, if you wish, it's fine. We can postpone this thing. It's up to you. I'm good with it. And said, I understand. No, you effing don't. Didn't say another word. True source said, you acted, you told the truth. 2 days later, this person contacted me and said, I apologize, we misunderstood everything. Well, had you bothered to read my post, it was completely neutral. Couldn't offend anybody. But evidently there was somebody in his family that didn't read it and took it personally. It was so neutral, it involved me, not them. So when we look at those kind of things, the important thing is act. And of course, during that, I said, okay, what am I doing? And I'm a mirror for him. The mirror I am for him and his family is, don't jump to conclusions. You must have done it in this lifetime and previous lifetimes. Think things through. The mere fact that the true inner source guidance said, you act, and then you give an explanation, and you give the person a way out, and don't hold a grudge. Because too many of us hold a grudge. I'm going to get even. Right.
That's like my sister, excuse me for interrupting, but she's like, oh, that's going to be payback.
Right. And
I'm like,
it's terrible. Terrible how we're thinking. It's terrible what we need to understand. It is terrible. If we go back to the proverbial Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve were there, if you want to believe that story, but there's a little story attached to the story. And that is when Eve took the fruit, the apple of knowledge, and gave it to Adam to eat. And supposedly God was upset, which is true source of unconditional, loving, allowing, non judgmental. He felt like a victim. Not my fault. She told me to go eat the apple.
she
Really?
made me do it.
Yeah. She made me do it. Come on, everybody. You have a free choice. Always have free choice. You always do. I'm sure someone listening to this will come up with something that they say don't have free choice. You know what? That's just an excuse for the person to not take responsibility. I know in the past I didn't want to take responsibility, but I've learned in a very painful way I have to take responsibility for whatever went wrong. Therefore, when I speak about the mirror effect, is that understand that this situation or this person in your life is an educational program to learn something, to acknowledge it. And it's to say, there's something that I need to understand that needs to be healed and released. Pretty simple. And then when you feel it, you touch it emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, even scream it, and then ask for forgiveness. It's over and done with. Some of you are saying, well, it's too easy, Michael. No, it isn't. Now, how hard it is to face, quote unquote, the music, your fears, your doubt? Pretty difficult. And if it's a piece of cake, then you're lying to yourself. Which, as human beings, we're good to lie to ourselves. So good. And we need to understand that. We need to understand that we're here to enjoy the life, experience life, and everything that exists upon this planet: food, clothing, water, smell of flowers, warm water, the air that caresses your body, the sun, even the rain and the snow. Enjoy watching children grow up, making children, watching the animal mineral kingdom. That's what we're here for. Somehow or another, we go into that fight or flight or frozen mode, and that all has to do with survival. And then the blinders become so impenetrable that you can't see the forest for the trees. And you forgot that you're made out of love, by love, from love, and with love. And you've forgotten that the true source never, ever judges you. So what people teach is an oxymoron. Oh, the true source loves you, God loves you, but God's going to punish you. How can you be loved and punished? Come on. How can you do that? Of course, you can go back. The mother or father would say, this is going to hurt me, then it hurts you. And you get a spanking. Yeah, right. I'm feeling the pain. But the truth is because I didn't take responsibility or I screwed up. And that's why I got a spanking. But that's a human condition in which we judge. The true source never, ever judges us. Because realizes that we're on our journey to grow, to heal, to release karma, and to create joy and happiness in our life, and then to touch others, to have that love and joy and happiness in their life. And each one of you are an example of being stuck, fight or flight, or frozen, or overcoming all adversity and being free. So important. You see, because when you are in the fight or flight or frozen syndrome, or you're feeling guilty, what are you manifesting? Do you ever think about that?
Ooh, more guilt.
Yes.
Ooh.
What you think you create, what you create, you experience. It's a mutable law. Yeah, I can change it. You can run from it, but you can't hide. Of course, you've heard that expression. To you, how much time do we have?
Actually, we need to wrap it up, Michael.
We need to wrap it up. Okay. So this is food for thought. And next week I may speak more about it. Not sure I will follow true inner source guidance. But I want to thank all of you. And I'm more than open for all of you to share your thoughts. Please share your thoughts. Not only that, but share these podcasts, because you're going to find something in the days to come and in the years. There's a lot of empowerment that the true source is working through me to share with you. Remember, I'm just a conduit. Do you? Let's continue.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Thank you, Michael, for that phenomenal message. It just opened up my eyes to a whole new perspective that, we don't point fingers of the blame anywhere, just look at how much you're accountable for, and then the rest is not your stuff.
Exactly.
So on that note, we are incredibly blessed and grateful that you come and watch these messages every Sunday night at 7. Michael also does a Tuesday night call-in, and why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
Every Tuesday evening from 6:30 Pacific Standard Time or Daylight Savings Time to around 7:30 Pacific Standard or Daylight Time. You have the opportunity to call in, ask questions on spirituality or your life. And I always say no direct readings, because you don't want people to know that maybe you're feeling guilty and stole $1 million or cheated on your wife or your husband.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to know that.
Don't let them.
That information will come forth. However, any questions about spirituality, hopefully I'll be able to answer them. And at the end, I deliver a 10-minute message. And there are roughly 235, 236, which in a moment will give you more information on how you can access them. But the call-in number every Tuesday evening is
202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446-POUND.
I'll give that again. 202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446-POUND.
Okay. Gets me every time. Okay. And the recordings, shall I just carry on?
Yes, please.
Okay. The recordings are always going to be at this number, and it's 434-300-4170, and the access
code is 125-446-POUND.
I think he practices. Okay, one more time. That number is 434-300-4170.
And the access code is 125-446-POUND.
Right now, like Michael said, there's like 237, I think it is, recordings that are there, and they're about 10 minutes long, roughly. And start with number 3 or any of the other numbers in between those two numbers. Let your soul guide you. It'll be the call you need to hear. They're incredibly powerful, and if you're stuck in traffic, it's a great way to relieve the stress of the traffic.
You're absolutely right.
You want to tell them what else you do?
Well,
second Saturday of the month?
Second Saturday of the month, we have what we call the Mass Consciousness Healing. Been doing this for well over a year now. And it's all about us getting together and being a conduit for God, the true source of unconditional love, to spread around this planet. Remember, nothing negative can live in the energy of love. So this is very powerful. And on the second Saturday of every month, it goes from 9:55 a.m. to 11:01 a.m., all Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And you can make a difference, and it's so important. And the access code is...
Wait, you got to have the number.
You're right.
Dial this number. It's the same one as the Tuesday night call-in, but I'll give it to you one more time. It's 202-926-1059. 1059, and
The access code is 125-446 pound. One more time.
Okay, 202-926-1059.
And the access code is 125-446 pound. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, on that note, we're going to wrap it up because it is a Sunday night. We appreciate you coming and joining us for this part of your day. And we are also, Michael's on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. We're also on the Facebook pages. So pop in, watch the recordings if you're not able to catch them every Sunday night. And, leave your comments. We'll make sure that all the numbers are always in the comments here as well. So anything you've missed, find us on Facebook. You ready, Michael?
Yes. And this is brought to you by Healing the Holes in Your Soul, written by T.U. Knapp.
And the Spiritual Primer by Dr. Michael Gross. I almost said Dr. Michael Pound. But we're really, really honored and blessed that you come. So share this with your friends. Invite your friends to come. And if they've got burning life questions, call in on Tuesday night. Michael has burning life answers.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Wait, you forgot something, Michael.
Take care. I haven't forgotten anything. Thank you so much for being with us. And remember, you are unlimited. Namaste.
Namaste.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Happy Sunday.